Bet you never loved someone. Bet you never loved somebody like I just did. Bet you always hurt the ones. Hurt the ones you say you're so deep in love with. You don't know nothing, 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 nothing. You don't know what it feels like. Baby, I'm hurting, 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 hurting. And you don't even ask why I'm staying up all night. I haven't slept since you came into my life. Why I'm drinking all the time. Why I'm feeling lonely when you're here by my side. I just want something, 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 something from you that feels right. But I know nothing, 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 nothing will do not this time. You tell me that you care for me, but I don't think it's true. You say I'm all you got, but baby, all you got is you. You promise me you're everything, but never see it through. I don't think you truly love me. If you did, you wouldn't hurt me. Hate it when you call me up. Call me up to tell me you're not coming tonight. Hate it when you cut me off. When I'm trying to tell you that it doesn't feel right. If I know one thing, one thing, one thing, one thing, I know your loving ain't fair. You don't know loving, 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 loving. You don't know how to be there. You tell me that you care for me, but I don't think it's true. You say I'm all you got, but baby, all you got is you. You promise me you're everything, but never see it through. I don't think you truly love me. If you did, you wouldn't hurt me. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way. You tell me that you care for me, but I don't think it's true. You say I'm all you got, but baby, all you got is you. You promise me you're everything, but never see it through. I don't think you truly love me. If you did, you wouldn't hurt me. This way, this way, this way, this way, this way. No way, no way, no way, no way, no way.
What's up, family? Hey, welcome back to another episode of Candid Conversations. Why am I getting feedback? All right, there we go. Turn my mic down some. Like I said, welcome back to another episode of Candid Conversations, Friday night edition. Man, y'all see, family, y'all see what it is, and we gonna get into it, you know, but before we do, like I always do at the beginning of each show, giving shout outs to entrepreneurs and business owners, giving a shout out to this sister right here, Aries Owens, Copper Book, Hear Me Out. Also, yesterday was her birthday. So, you know, she's celebrating it tonight. You know, happy birthday to Miss Aries Owens. You can follow her on Facebook. Also follow her on IG at Aries Owens. Also giving a shout out to my brother FC on the Beat. You can follow him on IG. You can go over to his page, his landing page at fconthebeat.com to cop any type of beats that you're looking for, any type of production that you may need, any mixing. The young brother is a musical genius, so big shout outs to him. Also giving a shout out to the homie Ethan West at West Wheels. If you're looking to get your wheel will repair done, because the roads and the potholes here in Cleveland, Ohio, or Northeast Ohio, have caused some nicks and scrapes. You can reach out to that brother on IG as well as Facebook to get your free quote and see what he is able to do, so that he can get you taken care of. Also, giving a shout out to the big homie Rodney Dukes and myself at Polish 'em Off ADC on IG, where you can get all of your car care needs met. We just washed and polished a 71, an old school today, Cutlass. So, we do everything, old schools, new schools, whatever the case may be. Because you need your vehicle cleaned. You need your vehicle ceramic coated to protect you from these Northeast Ohio seasons. Now that that's out the way, let's jump into tonight's topic, family. See, like I said before, I come up with these episodes and conversations with different people, different information that I get. And one of the things that I often hear, especially from women, is how they're not going to settle. And that's cool, that's fine. Yet on the flip side of that, I always ask the question, well, the type of man that you're looking for, will he be settling for you? Outside of sex, what do you bring to the table? Because I know a lot of women who I've spoken with who, even when asked that question, they truly can't answer that. And I think that in a way, it's oftentimes because in the past, sex had been put on a pedestal so greatly that, it was a commodity. It wasn't as easy as it is now, because you can, flip on social media. You can look on IG, on Facebook. You can even go to OnlyFans. The porn industry is booming like never before. So sex is everywhere. So a lot of times, especially in intimate relationships, it's so hard to create a connection with another individual, because sex is just like, you know what I'm saying? Like we just here to bust a nut, to get our rocks off, and then it is what it is. Some women are like, get off me. Some men, once they bust, they jump right off and, wash their balls, and, it's time to dip. But like I said, the importance of being intimate with an individual is null and void in a lot of cases today. So that's, my thing. Tonight I wanted to flip it, and ask the family, from a man's perspective, if statistically speaking, women outnumber men. In some states, you have 9-1, 8-1, 13-1. What makes you stand out for that particular gentleman to choose you? Out of all of his options, what makes you stand out to where in his mind, he's like, I gotta have her? Do you know what that type of man needs in a woman? Have you even ever asked men of his caliber, what type of woman are they looking for? And when it goes back to modern day households, 71 to 80% of children are born out of wedlock. And then out of that, between 70 to 75% are raised by single mothers. You know, so if your father, and we talked about it episodes ago, the detriment of not having a father in a child's life. You know, and one of the things that I hear in the type of man that a lot of women are looking for is that old-fashioned man. Looking for a protector, a provider, looking for someone, you know, who is capable of taking care of the family at any given time. You know, so it's fine. If that's what you're looking for, it's fine. But a lot of these women today are not modern day women. They want a modern day man. I mean, they want an old fashioned man, excuse me. But they're not an old fashioned woman. You don't have the age gap from daughter to mother, from mother to G-ma. It's not like it used to be. You know, and it's almost, in some cases, it's almost as though men have had to stay the same without any type of evolution. And then when men do evolve in some situation or cases, it's almost as if they're demonized for it. But yet the modern day woman she's able to evolve. You know, so, and the things that, you know, like the first question that I asked is, do men today make their needs and wants clear to their intimate partner? And the reason why I pose this question, family, is because it is extremely important. Because a lot of women, first of all, don't ask men what they want. But the women that do, a lot of men don't even know how to articulate their needs or wants. You know, so if men are not able to articulate what they need or what they want, and women have gotten bolder in expressing what they're looking for, what they want, what they desire, what their standards are, what their expectations are, and they don't have a problem with waiting it out until they find the perfect man or the perfect mate, the perfect intimate partner. You know, so why is it oftentimes a problem when men express their standards? When men express to women what they want, what they will accept, what they won't accept, their standards of the relationship. And as a woman, you have the choice to roll with it or to walk away. Just as men have the choice to want to deal or put up with you or walk away. And a lot of times what I notice is that men deal with women who are blatantly disrespectful or aggressive because the sex is good. And they're afraid to speak up, so they won't say anything to her. And then they wait till she gets to the point where she gets tired of putting up with him. So I mean, this this conversation, this discussion, it is it's not for weak-minded people. Because if you can't have the discussion with someone else, with your significant other, with your intimate partner, because what I see, what I have seen, what I've had in discussion is that relationships don't last as long as they used to. They don't. People don't put in the effort. I don't know if, well, I do know. A lot of times there's a sense of entitlement. There's a sense of entitlement on one or both parties' side to where they feel that they have an expectation that you get in a relationship with them, that this is just what you're supposed to do. But if you don't know what to do and how to do it for that particular individual, that's a conversation that need to be had between two individuals. You know, so as a woman, what does your man need, or what does it take for him to function? Are you willing to give it? Men oftentimes they don't have a problem sacrificing for what they want, because in their mind they're going to do whatever it takes to get what they want. And I know some men today, what the problem is that they'll sacrifice and do whatever it takes to get what they want. But one, they'll lose. They're not true to who they are. So they end up lying and manipulating to get the woman that they want. And then what we call the honeymoon phase. Once that's over with, then the real them comes out. You know, so my biggest thing is, you know, in relationships, and I'm not, you know, family understand. I'm not talking about, you know, saying the work, the time, the effort that's put into that relationship. You don't just vomit on that individual. You know, there's levels to this. I say that all the time. There's levels to this. You know, and those who know me, the energy that's given to me, I give that energy same back. It may not be in the way, in the form that you would like it to come back, but I reciprocate that energy. You know, I've had a conversation, you know, like one of the questions that I asked a few women is, are you qualified to just be screwed, or are you qualified to be a wife? Because men look at women and put them in two categories. You wifey material, and we may be building up to that, or you for the streets. And like it or not, that's just what we do. See, I don't know if women care to understand or I don't know if women care to understand who and what men are, or if women just want men to conform to their feelings. When men, that's not the way we work. We're logical thinkers, we're critical thinkers, and we gauge the risk versus reward in everything that we do, even when it comes to women. See, and I go back to the modern day version of men and women and our grandparents' version of men and women. Most of them stuck it out. When you look at the relationships and the marriages, when you talk to some of the elders who have been together 30, 40, 50 years, I met a couple who was together for 62 years. And when I asked them, I'm always fascinated for people who've been married and for, more than 2-3 decades. And I'm naturally inquisitive. So, I asked them what it took. And they looked at one another and they laughed and they said a whole lot of forgiveness. And forgiving one another, but leaving the past in the past. Our relationships are not built like that anymore. Good, bad, right, or wrong, our relationships are not built like that anymore. Women want men to be men. A lot of women have these unrealistic expectations for men. Like, men are not that complex. Men are simple. For the most part, men are simple. Now, we may be complex in specific areas of our life, but in general terms, we're simple. I think what's happening in relationships today is what makes a man is being demonized. And then I see women taking on masculine roles. You're aggressive. You're pushy. That's masculine. Men take on masculine. Men are masculine because we have to be aggressive in the workplace and business. We have to go out there and get it. And that's expected of us. But a lot of times you have, especially a lot of these modern day women, they're verbally aggressive. They're verbally disrespectful. And when the energy is returned in kind, then all of a sudden they want to blow up all in smoke. See, one thing that I don't think a lot of women realize about men is that men can't be verbally aggressive towards one another without some type of feedback. That's just not how we're built. But yet you have in today's society where women are allowed to talk to men and to deal with men any type of way. When, like, I've heard it before. You know, oh, if you was a dude, you know what I'm saying, I hit you right in your mouth talking to me like that. And that's how men respond to one another. A lot of women want the protection of a man, want the security of a man, but disrespect that same man and still expect and want protection and security. So in today's modern woman, a lot of women don't know how to live with a man. A lot of women don't know how to deal with a man, to talk to a man. See, I remember my grandmother passed when I was 5 years old. But my grandmother, like, she made sure that the family was together. Regardless of her shortcomings or failures, my grandfather was a police officer. So my grandmother was taking care of her children and her G babies. Like, my parents, my father comes from a large family, 11 to 13 of them, I believe. But then you look at the family and relationship structure today, and most families have 2, maybe 3 children. And if the woman is a career woman, might be 1. And that's fine if that's the agreement of that relationship, that's perfectly fine. But one of the things that I notice is that we become, as a society, we become the most advanced. But yet when it comes to relationships, when it comes to social construct, we're the worst at it. A lot of women talking about they don't need men anymore. I don't hear that from men. I don't. But then you got to look at the media's narrative and the powers that be narrative, excuse me, and why they would push the propaganda that women don't need men. Because, see, there are some jobs that you have to have a masculine mindset for. There are some jobs you can't, it's not about how you feel. It's not about your emotions. It's about getting the shit done. And as I said earlier, see, in my business, I can't sit back and wait for work to come. Every day I have to get out there and get it. No one walks up to me and says, you know what, here you go, here's your silver platter, here's your spoon. Nah. As an entrepreneur, my paycheck is based on the work at the end of the month that has been accumulated. And see, that's not, it's just masculine. Not man or woman, just masculine. You have masculine, you have feminine. You know, and then I asked the question, are men today allowed to have standards? Because I too often I hear, more oftentimes than not, it does come from women, you know, well, take me as I am. As a man, as my question is why? Why do I have to accept you for who you are? Because you're not going to accept me for who I am. You're looking for specific characteristics of me that you can accept. And if you don't see those specific characteristics, I'm not going to settle, and you're going to walk away. So if men don't see a specific characteristic in you, are they settling? If they accept to want to deal with you, to want to get in a relationship with you? When was the last time you've been in a serious relationship? When was the last time that you coexisted with a man? Do you know how to deal with a man? Because oftentimes what I realize and what I see, whether it's research, study, whether it's in conversation with women, a lot of women have this fantasy notion because either one, their father wasn't in the home, or two, they didn't have a relationship with their father. Because most fathers are going to keep their children grounded and balanced. Did your father allow you to be his little princess? Because your father was supposed to be your fairy tale. Or did your father raise you as one of the boys, as one of his sons? Did he raise you hardened? Because we know outside of our parents, we know our circumstances, our relationships that we have, our experiences that we have. We know that alone can harden us. Did your mother show you or teach you how to be a wife, or how to deal with a man in order to not stroke his ego, but encourage him to grow? Did she show you the ways of femininity? Next question. Do women even ask men what they are looking for in a woman? Or do women just not care? See, as a woman, you're only important to the man that you're dealing with. You're only important to your father, to your mother, to those who love you. Outside of those individuals, the world don't care nothing about you. See, and as men, we know this. We know that the world don't care about us. We understand that the world only cares about what they can get off of the sweat off our back. As a woman, whether you're married, whether you're in a serious relationship, whether your relationship is evolving, whether you're growing into a relationship, ask your man, ask your husband, your boyfriend, what type of woman is he looking for? Or are you afraid that what he's looking for is not you? Then you have to ask yourself the question, are you willing to evolve yourself into a better woman? Not even for him, just as a better woman. He becomes the beneficiary, but you're not doing it for him. Then I often, like I said in the beginning of the show, I often ask women, outside of sex, outside of yourself, what do you bring to the table? Because I can get sex anywhere. But what makes you special? What makes you stand out from any other women or any other woman that I may come in contact with? Because men can sleep with 100 women and it means nothing to us. But that one woman that we have the notion and the desire to do right by, that's a special type of woman. And every woman ain't that type of woman. See, family, I said coming into this year, this is not about pandering. It's not about stroking anybody's ego. Like, if we're going to heal individually, collectively, it's high time that we start telling the truth. Be honest with ourselves. I said that on Tuesday's episode. It's time that we have to be honest and open with ourselves. Because we can't look for anyone else to be honest and open if we're not, and truthful, if we are not those things with ourselves. I think last week I spoke on, as far as your fears. I'm always talking about our fears, egos, insecurities, because that stops us from doing a lot of things. Like, our fears and insecurities and our ego actually make up 90% of our decisions. I don't want to get in this relationship even though this person liked me because I'm scared to get hurt. Well, that individual is not your past. And see, because life and death is in the power of the tongue, you just spoke death into a situation that hadn't even happened yet. Men are bottom liners. We don't care about the cream in the middle. We're bottom liners. How is this going to benefit me to benefit the whole? See, men, we don't have a lot to say. We don't talk all day and then want to come home and talk all night to you. That's just not reality. We'll have conversation with you, but we're not sitting up there gossiping and talking about this and talking about that. That's what your girlfriends are for. You don't gossip with your man. Last question. Do men settle for women who doesn't meet their needs because the sex is good. The reason why I ask this question is because I've heard men say it, I've heard women say it. In a toxic relationship, yeah, but that yoni or that D is fire. The relationship is horrible, but that D and that yoni is fire. That's why I said, man, we gotta stop playing games. Most men just want sex. Men will settle down for the woman that he sees worthy. When he's ready. And if he's sticking around, he's looking for something. He sees all these other areas as worthy of his time, but he's looking for something in particular. Ladies, if you want to know where you're coming short at with men, find men who's going to be honest with you. Stop talking with men who you know are sticking around because he wants to smash. So he's going to tell you what you want to hear. Or what's the terminology? Fuck. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't even think about it. Can't even think of it. He dirty macking. He dirty macking. So men like that think that, well, as long as I pander to her and what she wants, one day she'll see me. Those are oftentimes dudes who didn't get enough yoni growing up. It's the hard truth, but it's the truth. See, a lot of times women think men play games, but we really don't. We let you know what you're worth to us up front. The problem is because of these fantasy ideas that you have, you're trying to make him into something that he's not. I know a lot of men who settled. I know a lot of men who are married who settled. And because they have that old-fashioned mentality of being a man, this woman is disrespectful, non-submissive, uncooperative, but yet he stays in there. She talks to him disrespectfully, aggressive, but yet he hangs in there. Not me. But I mean, those who know me, they know I don't pander to women. But that's me. But, you know, that's the topic. Are men settling for today's modern women? Women today have the choice to do everything that men do. Just understand that there's a price to be paid. That's why I said earlier, men weigh the risk reward. What am I risking? What am I giving up? And what is the possible reward and outcome? Men who are men, we don't tolerate women who are not cooperative. Women who see the direction and the path of our life, but does everything to combat that. But if women would understand that if you were cooperative, if you were submissive, you'd be surprised what that man would do for you. If you're feminine, you would be surprised what that man will do for you. Because you're making his purpose easier. And I know most men don't even know what the fuck their purpose is. They don't even know what they were put on this earth to do. So they causing havoc in a lot of people's lives. But a man that's on purpose, a man that's on task, he's going to let you know that. And it's your decision, if you see your life intertwined with his purpose, with his task, to find where you fit and fit in. Because men are naturally protectors. We're natural providers. However we can protect, however we can provide, that's what we're going to do. That is a natural instinct of ours. And to be able to protect and provide, we have to have a killer mentality, so to speak. We got to have this aggressive mentality. You know, and I saw a meme a long time ago when it was the Incredible Hulk, and then this little petite girl blowing a bubble and the Hulk calming down. Like, when I saw that, I laughed. Because a woman that's in her femininity can calm even the ragiest of beasts. Like, I don't think women understand the power in the feminine. Especially here in American culture. Other cultures understand it. But I put questions in front of the family because I want you to ask yourself those questions honestly and openly. Without any bullshit, without any fuckery, without any shade. And if there's an area that you need to work on it. That's your choice, your decision. And if you choose not to work on the areas, then whatever outcome you get is the outcome that you get. But family, you know, I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. As always, giving a shout out to everyone that I do in the beginning. Shout out to my sister Aries Owens. Happy birthday, sis. Giving a shout out to my brother Fred Council Jr. at FC on the Beats. Go and support him. Support the sister Aries Owens on IG and on Facebook. Also, giving a shout out to my brother Ethan West at West Wheels. If you need your rim repair, hit him up. I forgot at the beginning of the show, my brother Dwayne, Megadon 216 and Surf Club 216. Go and follow him on IG. Also, giving a shout out to the homie Rodney Dukes and myself at Polish 'em Off Auto Detail Center and Ceramic and Accessory Center, where we meet all of your car care needs. Support, family. As I said, I love y'all and appreciate y'all. Until the next show, deuces.